ClarkWoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 236. I'm Steve.
In a row?
No, I'm not Steve.
You're not Steve. What
I'm
the
not
fuck?
Steve. I'm not Steve. I forgot who I was. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And you're Steve, and you have a bag of boogies.
Yes, I'm not explaining it again.
No, you don't need to. I think it's. I mean, it was helpful to explain it the first few times, but I think just even the term is pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
You've got a bag, and it's
Kidding.
got.
I'm putting a tissue on deck in case I have a sneeze.
I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's what I say when I turn on Pornhub. I got a tissue on deck.
It's like in the on deck circle in the
Yep,
batter's
it's
box.
ready. It's there to go. But we're not going to talk about that because
There isn't one currently on my face, so there's no like batter's box. There's no like.
Oh, that's okay. So it wouldn't be on deck. It would be we're waiting for the other side. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I liked the
can't
analogy
finish this
before I started explaining
before
it.
you started picking it apart.
Yeah. I still think it's apt.
It's good. Well, yeah, I think so. But we're not going to talk about that because when we get started down the dark path, as it were, it will forever dominate the podcast.
What? Talking about jerking it?
Bodily fluids, any of the. I feel like once we go down that path, it's we have a hard time reining it back in. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean like the dark side.
Yes, it will forever dominate you. That was what I was.
It will forever taint you.
Forever. Oh gosh. Let's not go into the taint. I mean, not that you can go into the taint. You kind of go on either side of the taint.
What were
right?
some things that Yoda said?
Yoda said, do or do not. There is no taint. No, he said, do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah. Was he talking about like the skin area in between your balls and your butthole?
Well, I think he
point?
might have been. I mean, I think you can apply that wisdom to
Or vagina, mind you.
Yeah, wisdom or vagina or vagina.
No, I'm talking about like balls or vagina.
Oh, balls or vagina. Yeah. So I think that you can. What he's saying is, do or do not. There is no try. So if you're dealing with somebody who has a place to put something on either side of the taint, just pick one, right? And if you're thinking about exploring the orify,
Stop twirling your finger around like that.
Why is it? I'm just what am I doing with my finger? That's making you.
It's making me think it's going into a butthole, or it's already in there.
It's a pretty big butthole. I'm making pretty big
Well, I mean, it's usually it's
a stretch.
You've had a large poop before, right?
I can neither confirm nor yes, I'm sure.
Yeah. So like your butthole expands to
it expands
help
to
you get the poo poo out, and it will expand to help you get a digit or perhaps a peenie in there.
Okay. Yeah. Or other device.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. He said, that is why you fail. Actually, we had a conversation about this, a conversation about this last night, because The Empire Strikes Back was on.
It seems to always be on when I come over.
It was on TNT, and we had come home from doing some shopping, and
I forgot that TNT was a channel. Like I remember the TBS is.
Yeah,
but like TNT, I thought that TNT went away.
TNT is Dynamite,
and I'll win the fight.
I had forgotten which channels.
I can't sing today,
we're still around. But that one is. But they skipped right from Empire to The Force Awakens. So I don't know if they just don't have the rights to Jedi. Or if they had the rights, but they were doing like a 3-block. I think they had started earlier in the day with A New Hope. So they did A New Hope, Empire, and then Force Awakens. And
I don't understand, like, because
that confused my mom.
There should be better versions of like the original like series around that aren't like. Hold on, I think I might have a sneeze.
Okay. Well, so while you say that, there should be. I got to pontificate briefly to my completely bored / uninterested wife and mother about, and it's such a quick shot that I don't know that they even, and it's on TNT. We can't rewind it, so I can show them.
Yeah, you can. If you're watching live TV, you have FiOS, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can rewind live TV as long as you've been watching the channel for a little bit of a while.
I did not.
But if you can't do it before you changed it to that channel.
Okay, so basically, it's recording everything that I'm watching.
Well, it's not recording it, but like
send that on up to whoever.
To people that the Verizon satellite,
the Verizon
that live
company,
up there, the Krull that live up there.
Yeah, they want to know what I'm watching. It's dangerous business. No, there's a shot in Empire.
Or Skrull, not Krull.
It's like Krull must be a thing I just don't know about. Yeah, the Krulls. They're up there with the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Krull is he a Marvel character, or is he just a? I feel like Krull it might be in like the Conan universe or something. I don't know. Krull is a thing.
What is it? Chuck, the guy that the place that we played pinball on Friday, he has a Krull movie stand up. It's not like a poster. It's like one of those like cardboard stand ups.
Oh, so it's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking of. I did not know.
I don't know if it's a Marvel property.
Is it was it like a barbarian Conan kind of thing?
I don't remember the movie
Krull.
so much. So, but
well, I mean, the stand. Like
it
what's
was
the
like
stand
it was like a castle or like.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Got it. Was it Castle Grayskull?
Yes. And He-Man was there, and Skeletor,
and She-Ra. Do you think that He-Man and She-Ra, before they realized that they were brother and sister, maybe had a little
Jamie and Cersei action?
Yeah, well, answer the question, and then I want to mention something.
I don't remember enough about the plot of the action figure like cartoons from the 80s. I mean, I heard that the new She-Ra actually has plot and like
heard it's very good.
Character development and stuff like that, but I haven't seen that either.
Yeah.
But there is no new He-Man, so
right. So the Cersei Jamie thing, we're not going to talk about Game of Thrones. We've decided we'll talk about it next week after, because when we're recording this, there's one episode yet to come later tonight.
Right.
So we'll talk about it next week.
Give you guys an entire whole week
to
watch it,
which might be enough time for me to watch it.
Well, hopefully.
No, but when and maybe I brought this up before, but when I was trying to run an Amazon ad for my book, The 7 Wives of Silver, I wrote ad copy that referenced Jamie and Cersei. I think I said something to the effect of a brother-sister relationship that would make the Lannisters blush, and it was rejected by Amazon because it implied incest. So you can sell Game of Thrones on Amazon. You can sell my book, which has there was some of that, but you cannot run an ad that implies that even mentions them, right? And I understand.
You should have just like gone right to the point instead of being coy about it. If you were going to get rejected, you should have just been like, 7 Wives of Silver. Brothers and sisters, they be fucking.
I mean, anyway, so I wonder how they probably just don't advertise that part of it at all. If they're not that they need to, not that George R.R. Martin or whoever his publisher is needs to advertise the fucking books, but it was. Well, he does. There was an appeal process. I didn't go through it. I just ran another ad, which of course didn't have nearly the effect that that ad.
I think you should. I think like in retrospect, I think you should have appealed it just because like someone randomly searches for like Cersei or Jamie Lannister or Lannister. Maybe your book comes up as the results.
That was the idea. Yeah.
So
I am in the process of redoing the book covers, so I'm kind of holding off on any promotion at the moment until I.
You should just be like, you should have like the book cover be like each. I know it takes place in the past, like distant past, but you could each have them wearing a T-shirt. That one says brother, the other says sister, and them fucking on the cover.
I mean, I'm sure somebody in the family sews. They could probably sew a little patch in that said, brother and sister.
Right. Or you could just put it in a different language, so people are like,
That's subtle.
Hermano and what's sister in Spanish?
Hermano, and it's not. No, it wouldn't be hermana.
I never took Spanish, so I
Well,
never knew it.
In a lot of cases, you change the O on the end of a word to an A on the end of the word, and you end up switching from the masculine to the feminine. But I don't think it's hermana.
Well, the Canadians put an A on almost every sentence. Does that make them feminine?
I I think it depends on what you. I don't want to get in trouble here.
What?
But
I think you can still slag on the Canadians.
No,
I mean, it's fine.
well, no, it was going to be a gender thing. I don't want to get in gender trouble and go to gender jail. But the Canadians are nice. They're known for being nice, and if you come from a certain background and believe that niceness to be a feminine quality, then yes, I guess maybe that does make the Canadians feminine.
Okay. Take off, you knob.
Yeah, not all of them are feminine or nice. That
yeah,
is.
I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of Canadian people that are shitty.
Let's see. Translate.google.com.
Oh, you're still looking this up.
Sister in Spanish is hermana.
Oh, wow, look at you.
So I was right. La hermana.
Yeah, because that won't get past them. I mean, that'll get past them. No one knows Spanish.
Yeah, not at all. Well, so what should we look it up? Let's see.
No, stop looking things
Afrikaans, Czech, Danish, Soster.
No, let's not look up anything and just talk about something else.
Italian, Sorella.
What's the name of some of them other languages?
Let's see. Yeah. Hawaiian is.
Stop looking at fucking languages, please, Chris.
Kaiana.
This is really.
Yeah. It's scintillating radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did not get a lot of people to read my book that way because I dared to have consenting adults who happened to be related to each other having.
Is it actually illegal? Oh, I just asked a question that begs you to look it up.
No. I won't look it up. I don't know that it's. Well.
So I
mean, it certainly is illegal if you're talking about underage.
Obviously,
but that of course is. It's illegal for other reasons.
Yeah.
As well. So I don't.
Well, I'm
know.
talking about two adults.
Right, and the thing is that there's no distinguishing. It's weird. We can. We can judge a little bit, right? It's weird. It's outside the norm in that sense of weird. But I feel like there should be some distinction between what Cersei and Jaime Lannister are doing and what the two characters in my novel are doing, and the I that's part of RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, right? That I believe is targeting non-consensual incest, right? But there's no, unless you put the adjective in front of it, non-consensual, there's nothing distinguishing the two. And so you say incest and it's against every single terms of whatever on any freaking site, as it should be, because of its relation to non-consensual and younger folk.
Okay.
Right. But the fact that I got an ad.
Uh-oh.
What?
I said uh-oh.
Yeah. The fact that I got an ad uh-oh'd by the fine algorithm at Amazon, it was a little frustrating.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated too.
But my I have a friend.
My cough's showing up on the.
Not too bad.
I'm trying to turn my head as much as possible away from the mic
and away from me. I thank you for that.
Well, yeah, I mean. Next time I'll cough right in your face.
Right in my face.
I'll eat a pork rind right too. So you get pork rind crumbs flying at your fucking head.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let me go get a bag.
I have a friend who I met up with last weekend, and we were talking about writing and things like that. And she, when the Seven Wives of Silver was coming out, we were talking about it, and I let slip to her that there was that relation, which is not the major relationship in the book, but it's or that part of it is not the but I just wanted to forewarn her. And the moment that I said that, she's like, "Nah, I can't do that." And then this past time I was saying, I know you said you can't do it, but I feel like The Seven Wives of Silver is the sort of second, it's the sequel to Missing Mr. Wingfield in a way. And when you see the next book, which I have some news about, they're all of a piece. So it's kind of like, well, maybe I shouldn't have written that storyline into Seven Wives, because now I've got people who just don't want to read it because of
well, you didn't have to tell them about it.
Well, I mean, that brings up the whole concept of trigger warnings and content warnings and things like that. There are people who very much want to be warned about
I wasn't warned about it on Game of Thrones, and I don't think a lot of people were.
No. I remember.
I mean, there's a lot worse things that happen in Game of Thrones that yes. That HBO's not like, well, there's going to be rape, incest,
there's
a bunch of other stuff in this episode. They just say there's nudity in adult situations.
Yeah, there's going to be a sex worker who's tied to a bed and shot with a crossbow by the king. Yeah. So anyway, should I share briefly so
yes, because I'm fucking out of it.
So I mean.
You got a couple of gems out of me early. Then I think
yeah.
I can just coast on whatever the fuck you're saying for the rest of the episode.
Well, I mean, and I hope that this means that. So what I was going to say about the book ties into something I want to back up a bit here, which is, we missed last week, and I'm sorry to everybody.
Apologizing to me,
I'm
or
apologizing
to
to
the
you.
Listeners.
I'm also apologizing to the listeners. I had. Sort of family stuff on Mother's Day that came up. My Saturday had kind of been blocked off for something else, so I don't know how much I want to talk about it, but I ended up having to call an audible on Sunday, which is when we were gonna record, and say
I was pushing for Saturday.
Yeah,
because Mother's Day was Sunday.
That's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up, because it should be said. Well, you just said it.
Yes.
Steve was very much...
Oh my God, I did it.
Yeah, Steve was very much pushing for Saturday, and it just wasn't working, so we said, yeah, we can do it on Sunday.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah, and my rationale for that, I guess since I'm talking about it, was Stephanie, my wife, does not make a big deal about holidays. And so I didn't really ask so much as I said, well, we couldn't make it work on Saturday. I figured you wouldn't mind because you don't make such a big deal about holidays. And she sort of took that in stride in the moment on Saturday. But when we woke up on Sunday, there was definitely a storm brewing. And Steph, because she's a good wife and nice and is always trying to protect me from getting more hurt when she sees me yelling at myself all the damn time. She holds everything in until like the absolute last moment. And we had a little bit of a thing. My therapist and I and Stephanie have all decided I should stop calling it a fight and say it was a conversation. So I will say it was a conversation, but I needed to be with my family last week, so we didn't have a show.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine, Chris.
Okay, so...
Hopefully these plants don't die, guys. I've been coughing on them.
Well, tangent, I mean, if you cough on the plants, does it really do them any harm? Because you're still giving them the carbon
I don't know if I have a
dioxide,
virus
right?
or anything. I don't know if this is allergies and then my body just...
Yeah.
Because I'm not feverish or anything. I'm just
I've been having
stuffed
a
up.
lot of allergies myself, so it could be allergies for you. But if you're worried about the plant, I'm just saying, like, I don't think the plant, even if you had a virus, is going to get sick from your virus. I think the plant is just going to be like, hey, there's some CO2.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Isn't that what they like?
Yes.
They like
I
to
don't
see
know.
it.
I don't know. You know the most about succulents. Maybe Leo could chime in because he is an arborist. So if he's up to date and he's got internet access, maybe he could tell us all about how much plants photosynthesize and all that shit.
Yeah, and in particular succulents. You said that's what those are.
Yeah, they're parts of a cactus, I think.
Oh, okay, got it. So I bring up the missing the episode last week because part of this past week for me was kind of dealing with my feelings about what I perceived as a fight, which was really a conversation. My feelings about missing the podcast and kind of screwing that up, and also like a lot of stress about this book that I've been trying to put out this year. A couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago, I decided to push it off from September to December. And then finally yesterday, so my therapist, one of our common themes has been how hard I am on myself. Stephanie, one of her common themes is like, why do you feel like you have to hit this particular deadline? And I was working.
It's not like you have like a publisher that's like,
No.
Chris, I need that draft by 6 a.m. on, the 25th.
Right. I have 17, I think, active patrons who are the closest thing I have to a publisher, but I'm pretty sure.
Are they constantly harassing you for this next book?
No.
Then
yeah. So at any rate, so basically, all the pressure is coming from me, and I'm sitting there at swim class, waiting for Kaylee to finish up.
Were you at spin class while they were at swim class?
I was not at spin class while they were at swim class. My head was spinning.
When I first heard that there was a thing called spin class,
yeah,
I legit thought it was people spinning around.
That's what I thought. I was like, what? Why would people want? I mean, Stephanie is very good at it. She used to, in college, be famous for during the song "Walking on Sunshine," because she was a dancer. We would have this sort of dance parties in our townhouse, and somebody would inevitably put on Walking on Sunshine, and towards the end of it, she would do this just ridiculously fast spin, and you'd be like, how on earth is she doing that and still standing up? And so when I heard of spin classes, I really did. I was like, there's a whole thing for that one weird talent my wife has.
Nope, it's people on bicycles. Yeah. Or like exercise bicycles, not like real bikes.
Yeah. So no, I was not in.
Hashtag not real bikes.
Hashtag not real bikes. So anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm digging through. It's the last few minutes of Kaylee's swim class. I got to pack up soon, and I'm digging through the latest set of feedback that I got on the manuscript, and it's sort of overwhelmingly positive in terms of the big stuff. Like, you've got a really good book here, and then because it's a person that I trust who knows that they can get in depth with me, like, I'm looking at them like they're making so many good points, and the previous person who read it also making so many good points. I've got another person whose feedback is still coming, and yet, according to this ridiculous timeline I've set for myself, I've got 2 weeks to process all of their feedback and rewrite the entire manuscript.
So, in other words, you can expand your deadline because it's a self-imposed deadline.
Well, that's what everyone, maybe in not so many words, has been trying to tell. So everyone, being Stephanie and my therapist, have been trying to tell me
just now,
and you just
and
now.
I think Becky's one of your patrons. I don't think she's like gonna flip out if the book isn't released sometime in the summer.
Right. So I had already said it wasn't going to be released till December, but here's the thing, and Becky could probably chime in. December is a really fucking stupid time to try and release a book. Like, literally,
yeah, I mean, people aren't going to be waiting outside Barnes and Nobles for it to show up, and people are yelling "Snape kills Dumbledore" at them.
Right.
Because I didn't do that.
No. Did you?
Yeah.
No, but it's a really dumb time to put out a book. The only reason I picked December when I was pushing it back was because December was the latest I could put it back and still have it come out in 2019, which is what I had promised people who probably didn't realize I promised it.
What
and then
date
promised
in
myself.
December did you want it to come out?
It was
Did you
gonna
want it
come
to be like the stocking stuffer? Or
It was gonna be the beginning of December.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it was gonna still be in time for theoretically the holidays, but it's just people
because
don't
I'm
put
blowing my nose doesn't mean I'm not
no, no,
listening.
no. People don't publish in December, or they publish holiday themed books, or if they publish, it's like someone huge, and you're like, okay, here's Tom Hanks's latest collection of short stories.
What was the title again?
Of the
new one.
Exquisite Corpse.
You should have been like exquisite jingle corpse for a December release.
I could do that, but the truth of the matter is, like, I also have a completed audiobook to put out anytime I want. I paid for it. The person did it. I've got an audio version of Missing Mr. Wingfield in the can, ready to put out. I've got a set of covers I'm working on to bring all of my books sort of in line with each other. I've got these other things, and I was trying to rush through them at the same time I was trying to rush through and so I felt a combination of very sad yesterday because I had failed, but also proud because I had
Proud like Rip Torn of Tom Green.
Yes, and Rip Torn of Tom Rip. I don't know that reference.
We talked about it for a really long time on the show.
Rip Torn and Tom Grab. Proud. Was it a
Proud.
Movie?
It was the name of the fucking episode. It was Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, I've never seen that movie. So,
But I did talk about
right,
it for a long time.
you did. Okay, I did not. I've not seen the movie. So proud. Yes, I was proud of myself for finally listening to the people who are reasonable in my life, who I know are reasonable in my life, who just sometimes I don't want to listen to them. And yeah, so the book is, I don't know when it's going to come out, but I think it'll be in, Stephanie's trying to encourage me not to even
just say
pick a date.
How about like 2020?
Yeah.
Give yourself all of next year to get it out.
Then I'll feel like a real failure if it's like December of 2020.
Remember, you don't want to fucking do it in December.
I know.
I think
it'll be 2021.
I think early summer, maybe next year, is a good thing to shoot for.
Well,
around maybe this time next year, because people are going to be getting out of school. They want a nice summer read. I think that'll be a perfect time. A year from now.
It might be slightly less than a year from now, but yeah, that's the notion.
All right.
Because
I'm not a reader. Like,
Right.
if you've ever talked to me in the last couple of years, I can count on one hand the amount of books I've read.
we are. I know this. I think the listeners know.
Yeah, I mean, if you count One Piece, then it's a lot more. But
I think you should, honestly.
But to count comic books,
Yeah.
all right.
So this is not an argument. It's a conversation. I'm supposed to keep thinking about it as these things as conversations.
I can read an entire like volume of One Piece in probably, less than a couple of hours.
See, I mean, and this is going to sound sacrilegious to the people who are readers, but I think however you take in your stories, whether that's audio, whether that's video, whether that's
if I didn't have so many
combination of still images and text like a comic would be, or just plain old text. I think as long as you're taking in stories, especially taking in fictional stories, I think people who are like, I don't read fiction, those are the people I want to beat them up.
All right, tough guy.
Unless they're watching, and
send us an email, hot@clarkwoods.com.
about how you don't read fiction.
If you want Chris to beat you up,
Yeah,
for being such a not fiction reader.
But Stephanie and I will sometimes talk about whether or not Melody should, whether her reading log, we should count the graphic novels that she reads, because she likes to read graphic novels. And I am of the opinion that yes, but of course my wife has worked in child development and has a master's degree in education. So I trust her that maybe we should be pushing our child to read more text-based things just to at least develop.
Can you get
that
like a
muscle.
middle ground, or like, you know, if you read one graphic novel, read one like
We try, but Melody's not much for the middle ground.
all right, well,
Yeah,
work on it.
I am. So what were you were before I rambled on. You were trying to say something about.
I said
graphic
I have,
novels.
if I didn't have so many podcasts that I am just consistently 2 months behind on every podcast that I listen to. I'm like somewhere in mid-March for the podcasts.
Yeah.
And so like it's funny because like the Bruins are going to be in the Stanley Cup. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I mean, I knew they were doing well, but yeah. Okay.
And like it's funny listening to Bill Burr talk about like, oh, the Bruins are doing pretty good. And the playoffs haven't even fucking started yet. And he's like, he's all psyched. And I'm like, oh, he's going to be so excited come May.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna be in the summertime.
Yeah, it'd be the summertime. They would have either won or lost the Stanley Cup. And
Yeah.
then I'm just going to wait until he's either like, this is weird because the Red Sox won the World Series. Patriots won the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for the Celtics, like there's a chance that almost every Boston sports team would win within a year of each other.
Yeah. So that's why the Bruins will win, right? Because the Celtics fucking shit in the cereal, you know.
Well, who knows? Maybe the Revs will win this year too.
Oh boy. They play the. No, I'm just kidding. I was gonna try to make a joke about.
Try to go like the only way you could get decent like affordable seats to anything at Gillette Stadium
Is go to see the
is to go
Revs.
to see the fucking Revs. So don't knock them. You can go there and get your $14 fucking beer instead of
and watch
like,
a non-sport.
If we had people that were from other countries that listen, they'd be like screaming at the top of their lungs.
Well, you know,
because everywhere else in the world gives shits about soccer.
At least I didn't make my hockey statement. You know, when just after you just mentioned the Bruins.
These are kind of opinions that you don't necessarily have to vocalize, Chris.
No, I mean,
like I mean, I've never been a super big hockey fan, but like
Right.
I like watching playoff hockey. I think it's exciting. Like regular season, I could give any zero shits about.
Yeah.
But watching playoff hockey, even if it's not the Bruins, I'm on board. Like, but it's not something I'm seeking out. Like if it's on at a place where I'm at, like if we're having some drinks and at a bar, if I'm playing in a pinball tournament, there's usually a TV with like the game on. So
Right.
like I will watch it and I'll be excited about it because
well, it's kind of the place that I'm at with basketball at this point. Although I do like basketball as a thing, I don't seek it out. But if it's on, I'll be kind of psyched.
be like
to check
it's
it out.
even better if it's like on at a bar and like there's other things like music or something on it instead of the audio from the game, so you don't have to hear the fucking terrible squeaky shoes.
I like the squeaky things every once in a while.
Every once in a while, it's the whole fucking game.
Well, yeah. So my book's not coming out this year. What else have I missed the podcast last week. What else have I failed at?
I don't know,
recently?
Chris.
I don't know. I got some deadlines at work tomorrow. Maybe I'll fail at those.
Deadlines.
Which doesn't make any. I mean, for most people who know that I work at a university, doesn't make any sense because graduation was yesterday.
Yep.
So like, why would I have deadlines? But we have a major. We have residency-based programming over the summer, which means there's a lot of planning in my particular division. So even though all the undergrads are gone and my teaching is done for at least a month or so because I got a summer class.
Just the one.
Just one, and I'm doing one summer class so that I only have to do one fall class.
Okay.
That hopefully that'll help with the old stress levels, the cortisol. I guess I'm supposed to not have as much as that.
I don't know the shit about chemistry either.
Stephanie went to some workshop or something at work where she came back and it was all about cortisol. It's like, you probably got too much cortisol. It's like, yeah, I have heard that.
Can you get it like taken out?
I don't think so. That'd be nice.
Like put some sort of syringe in the back of your neck and like pull it out of your spine.
Like in my story, Revelation, where they take the sin out of your body like that.
No.
They do. They in that story they take the sin out,
sorry.
and then they send it all
Chris,
to a plant.
You're wrong. It doesn't happen.
It was a science fiction story.
Oh, okay. Not a science fact.
It's a precursor to science fact in some cases. That's from that movie that you fell asleep during. Actually, wait. Did you fall asleep during the first Thor or the second Thor or all of the Thor? Okay, you didn't.
The first
fall asleep.
Thor, I think. I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw it well.
Yeah.
I think I saw it like maybe I think it was on in the background of something, and I sort of watched it. And then the second one I actually went to and fell asleep like for a decent amount in the middle of the movie.
Right.
And then the third one I enjoyed and watched watched in its entirety.
Jane Foster and Eric Selvig argue in the first one about science fiction and science fact. No, so my story, science fiction, based on a headline I saw a bunch of times when I worked at the Purity Supreme supermarket about Jesus Christ being cloned from the Shroud of Turin.
What?
You know what the Shroud of Turin is?
I know, but why were you seeing this at Purity?
Because it was on the weekly. Is it Weekly World News or World Weekly News?
Weekly World News. It's no longer around. I don't think. It's hard to have like that exists in 2019.
It is.
I mean, considering everything on the fucking internet is that now. But to have something that's intentionally spoofing a tabloid magazine.
Yeah. Well, so that headline I remembered seeing while I was working at the grocery store, and then I was writing a story for college a year or two later, and I wrote about it. I was like, I'm gonna write about Jesus getting cloned from the Shroud of Turin.
I remember my mother worked at that same store for a while. I don't know if you worked there at the same time.
No, but I worked with people who worked with your mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I remember they wanted to cut down on shrink.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that term?
Let's pretend that I don't, so that we can illuminate the audience. What's shrink?
So
Steve?
basically, the like losses from like several different ways you can lose money on like maybe expired product or like people stealing it or whatever.
Right.
They wanted shrink posters. And so I was quite the guy that likes drawing fucking cartoons, and at that point in time, so like I would draw like Bugs Bunny next to a fucking thing that says, "Hey, what's up, Doc? Cut down on shrink" or something, and they put them all up over the store. Or in the break room,
in the break rooms and stuff.
Like not like out in the store itself, but like where you fucking put your time card or whatever.
I was upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching fucking movies because they had like
they had like a TV up there.
They had a TV up there, and they would I would go there after school.
Right.
And I'd sit in the break room and do my homework and watch TV, and or like because they had a video rental thing there, and so I would occasionally just grab a movie from down there and like watch it upstairs.
Yeah, I
remember Beetlejuice being one of them.
Oh, that's a pretty interesting like. I don't know. That's a short story right there. That's like
10-year-old ish Steve like doing his homework at Purity Supreme break room.
There's something in that, either the specificity of it, the time of it, right? That you would be
watching the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and annoying everybody that's on break because this fucking kid is here watching cartoons when I just want to I don't have a phone to look at.
Right.
It's 1990.
I crushed on quite a few girls who I worked with at the Purity. And when we happened to have breaks at the same time, that was particularly both cool and excruciating because I didn't have the courage to tell any of them that I had crushes on them. But
I don't think that like
because they all treated me just like a normal person, which I was, I guess.
I think the idea, and I think this is probably the fault of the media, or like the media that we consumed when we were younger, that like telling somebody that you have a crush on them is a good idea. What instead you should do is perhaps ask them to go out.
That's what you should do.
On like a date.
Yeah.
And if they refuse, don't bother them anymore about it. And if they say yes and it doesn't go anywhere, be okay with that.
Right.
I think that's just the lesson. Like, I mean, if you're a younger person and you have I'm doing air quotes here, crush on someone, just ask them out on a date. And if things don't go anywhere, there's a definite possibility that you'll meet somebody else that perhaps has similar feelings.
That's a very hopeful way of looking at it.
I'm just trying to tell people out there in the world to learn from my mistakes. That just being a doofus and just being like, oh my God, this girl. Instead, just fucking figuring it out early, and then fuck it. It's dumb. And also if things don't go anywhere, fucking be okay with it.
Well,
that's what I think people need to lose early on in life, but in little things. They need to lose at little things.
Okay.
Early.
Yeah.
To realize that, life is hard, you're going to lose at shit, but you need to keep trying.
Maybe that would have changed the whole trajectory of my life. I don't know.
Did you not lose enough when you were little?
Well, I don't know. I if you ask me looking back, I felt like I lost a lot. I felt like I never won, which I think is maybe different. I never succeeded. It was never good enough. But I don't know if I don't know if I lost. If I really sort of, I don't know. Were we on the same Little League team?
I think John and I were. I don't know if you... Oh, well, no, maybe we were.
A little bit.
I think all three of us might have.
Yeah. Well, so when I was younger, and I probably said this before, when I was younger and the adults still pitched to you, we did all right. But then the team I was on after that, where kids pitched to kids, we were terrible. So in that sense, I was on a team that lost a lot. I always lost it at video games and things, but I don't feel like I have. The reason I bring it up is because, and the reason why what you were saying resonated with me is I don't feel like I have as much grit as I would like to have, and grit in the sense of when something goes wrong, I am more likely to quit. And I've gotten around that in some areas of my life, but not all. So I kind of always need things to go well, and if they don't go well, and
that's why you should come to a pinball tournament every once in a while, so you can just go there and lose and be like, you know what, I lost at this pinball game, but I had fun anyways. That losing isn't the worst thing that can happen. And there's been times where I've been cranky that I didn't do well, but there's been times where like this past Friday, somebody had a sort of phantom tilt. I was there, I was watching it. He did not move the machine even slightly, and he just got a tilt. So we reported it to the guy that owns the machine. And he was like, "All right, just play one more ball." And because he got that extra ball, he surpassed my score, and I got 2 less points.
Oh,
But it wouldn't have made that much. I mean, I ended up winning last week anyways. But instead of getting a 32, I got a 30.
Right.
But I could have just. Well, I mean, I was a little salty, and I'm like, yeah. But I was razzing him, like the guy that did it, and I'm like, you couldn't have just immediately drained. He's like, sorry, but being like, okay, I did slightly worse now, but being okay with it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that you bringing that up So I don't think I'm particularly good at losing. So maybe I should go play pinball some more. But
because you're going to lose a lot at pinball.
but the other thing
I'm just saying because the way the game is designed, it's designed to make you lose.
To make you lose. But the other thing that and we've talked about this a lot on the show, that I'm not particularly good at is relaxing. And part of the reason that I'm not great at relaxing is because if I and trying new in particular, I'm thinking of like watching TV shows, and I'm not good at trying new things because I'm afraid of wasting my time. And so one of the things that I'm trying to do in pushing back this self-imposed deadline of mine is to give myself is part of a bigger quest to sort of give myself permission to just kind of like dick around a lot more.
Yeah, and not literally.
No, not literally. I have my special lady friend, and we enjoy. I was gonna say dicking around with each other, but she doesn't have a dick, so I don't know.
Right.
We enjoy doing that.
Cool.
Yeah. We both had
penising around.
We both had. Well, I was working from home Friday, and she had the day off on Friday. So,
oh, good knee. Good knee.
That's part of when I sent you a message.
Good and plenty.
Yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
It wasn't post-coital, was it?
No. But yesterday, and I was like, yeah, things are better. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Things are in part better because there was a post-coital period. I did not send texts.
It'd be like
in that like period.
All right, now that we're done that, I need to text Steve and say things are going great.
Yeah, I need to.
Sorry, darling. This is important.
She made a really interesting observation. She, I don't know if it's because we had that conversation a week ago or just in general, she's been more aware of some of my own frustrations about where we live and, which is minor frustrations. I love where we're at. I'm content. But there's not a lot of quiet in the house and this and that, and the other thing. And what she realized that day was how little time there is when there's nobody else in the house. So, I almost blew it because I was still working on something and we were running out of time when we were all alone in the house. Cause my dad drives the bus, right? So, he's home by 9:30 or so, right? And I had therapy in the morning. So basically there was a 15-minute period between when I came back from therapy and when my dad was going to be home. And then once my dad left and before Kaylee comes home off the bus. And I, being the stupid head that I am, was eating into that small chunk after my dad leaves and before the kids come home. But she was not that upset. I knew what was happening. I had to sort of end some stuff, and I did, and it all turned out for the best. But she's very well aware of how little privacy we have.
You should just like go and like take that. Is that shed still there? Or does that get torn down?
Oh, the old back. Pony house or whatever. Yeah, the shed is still there.
Okay, you should just like go out there and be like, "This is my sanctuary."
this is the fuck shed.
No, I'm just saying if you want some friggin' time.
Oh yeah, but there are animals that go in and out of there, and it's full of crap.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe it's not as full of crap because I think when my brother was home,
he cleaned out the crap.
Time. Yeah. My brother comes home and just does nothing but yard work.
Yeah, he's project man when he's back.
Yeah. Well, he does something other than yard work that I think makes him, I'm not going to go any further. Well, I don't know where it's legal and where it's not legal. He does something.
It's legal in Massachusetts.
Okay, so he partakes in a little bit of
the wacky tobacco.
While he's on vacation.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, he's not bringing it here. He's he's
I don't know. I don't know anything about any of this stuff.
I'm just saying he's not bringing it here.
Okay.
He's getting it here and using it here.
Yeah, and gaining whatever focus and clarity and relaxation that then ends up in him just doing yard work for like hours and hours and hours a day.
Did you ever talk to your therapist about a supervised high?
A supervised high.
Because we talked about that about a month ago, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I brought it up with her or not. I mean, she knows that I have not partaken. It's never anything that she has pressured me on in any way. Yeah. So no, I don't think I've brought up the idea of a supervised wacky tobacco. Such a weird expression for it, but is what it is. What it is.
I mean, I haven't in a very long time. I think the major reason is because I quit smoking.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't want to get into the habit of smoking something else.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good. It's a good strategy on your part, because I know for me the action of, and I've never smoked anything, but
Except
the
for
action.
pole. No, wait. You never did. You tried it. You tried to try.
I tried to try. I tried to try smoking a pole.
Yeah, but you did not. You did not make it even to a smooch.
I had a short story or a novel or something once upon a time that's kind of blended into a thing that I'm working on next, whenever that is, 2021, 2022. It was called "Things I'd Do If I Lost My Wife." Was the concept, and it was.
Well, that's nice and morbid.
Well, it was, and I never really got that far with it because it was so morbid, and I didn't. But it was one of those things. I was like, well, you know what? If I ever was single, maybe I would try. And I'm like, no, I don't know if I would. I go back and forth. I'm like, well.
Yeah, I mean, speaking from somebody who was dating for a while before they met somebody that they really connected with, it's not fun.
I thought you were about to admit something. Speaking as someone who smoked a pole once.
No, I have not. But it's not fun to date. No. I don't imagine it's fun. Well, some people like it, I guess.
Yeah, no,
anybody, any sexuality, I don't think it's fun after a very long time of just being single and dating. It's just,
I don't think I would have any fucking clue what, based on prior experience. I mean, I was never my wife had to ask me out.
So yeah, you should have done that a long time prior. She would have said yes, and then you would have, maybe connected earlier, and then had,
right.
more time together we
had a lot of time together.
I know, but still, a teeny bit more would have been, I think.
You always want a teeny bit more, but you gotta be happy with what you had.
Okay.
Have had. I don't know.
You still have it, Chris.
You gotta be happy.
You still got it.
No, I don't. Well, she seemed satisfied the other day.
Okay, cool.
You want more details? No.
Not really.
I wish I could have captured. I mean, I think some of it came through in audio. But there was a slight.
I should not play poker.
A slight tensing of the shoulders, a little bit of a scrunching up of the brow, okay, I'm happy that you, but please stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't.
That's.
I can't imagine people who do talk about it regularly. I mean,
their own personal stuff, or just
friend. No, I get the impression. I mean, the cultural stereotype is that guys don't, and that women do. Right?
Talk about
sex and talk about their relations or whatever.
I was never one to do it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't either, and I can't picture doing it.
I tried doing.
I can joke with you about it, but going any further.
I tried a little bit in my act, when I was doing stand up, but it never hit. It was never the part that people were laughing at the most, and so it was something that I kind of tossed aside because I'm I don't know, the comedians that I listened to a bunch growing up, kind of not growing up, but like in between my 20s and early 30s when I was doing mid 30s when I was doing stand up, Jim Norton, it's very raunchy, very sexual, and I'm like, this is but then. And then I tried doing it. I'm like, I'm not Jim Norton. I'm not that big perv that he is. So trying to just do this isn't natural. It's not working because it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wonder how much that ties into, like, in this latest book I've been trying to write more sex scenes. Sounds like, I don't know, but I've been trying to, in particular because of the character and whatever, I've been trying to write more. What would the letter be? Strong SC for strong sexual content. If this
Yes.
were HBO, I've been trying to write more strong sexual
Is there,
content.
there's a nudity one there too, but
Okay.
are you gonna draw pictures? You should just draw like stick figure with like boobs, and this is what's
and
happening.
somebody grabbing their boobs.
Like in
I was waiting for you to like.
in Breakfast of Champions when Vonnegut draws little pictures.
Draws the butt.
Yeah, the butthole, which is an asterisk.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No pictures. I don't think, unless I change my mind.
And there was a part where he's talking about wide open beavers, and he draws a picture of a beaver, like the animal, and then he draws a vagina.
So I wasn't thinking of when I mentioned the assholes. I was thinking of Slaughterhouse-Five, which I've read more than Breakfast of Champions. So I should be fair. I don't know if I've ever read Breakfast all the way through. I started it.
It starts with the end.
Does he?
Yeah.
No. You mean the asshole? Which is the end?
Is this what was that a segue to? You can find the show notes.
Well, no, we're like 4 minutes early. Although that would have been a good one.
Oh, okay.
like a minute or two ago.
I'm just wondering why you're saying that in particular.
No, because the end, the asshole.
My only friend, the end.
Yeah, it's sad. When your only friend is your asshole.
Dun, 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 dun.
Got any predictions for Game of Thrones?
I don't know.
No, he said we're gonna talk about it next week, but
I don't know. Stuff's probably gonna happen. Like I don't know. The last 2 seasons have just been rushed. They got to the I think end of season 6 was when they got to the end of what the books had for us.
Right.
And so these last 2 have just been like, what do you think, George R.R. Martin? Like, right. I guess this could happen. Okay.
Yeah, that's the impression I got from one of my coworkers the other day when I saw her for the first time after.
And it just seems like with
week's.
Before the episode before the battle at Winterfell was like fan fiction of like, here's all these characters that you've been paying attention to for the past fucking X amount of years. Here's them hanging out and drinking together. It's like I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that, but it's just like it seems weird.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. It's like it's not going to be as bad as the Dexter finale. It's not going to be as good as the Breaking Bad finale. It'll be somewhere in between.
Yeah, I've heard people making. I don't know. I know that I have, but I've heard people making comparisons or starting to talk about Lost and.
It's not going to be as bad as the Lost finale.
And of course we've talked about how I don't hate the Lost final season as much as actually I don't hate it at all. But yeah, it feels weird to me to make that comparison because I don't feel like it's
not on the same level because Lost was just it sort of fed on the just the things that you didn't know.
Right.
And so like a lot of those answers like that of things you didn't know or things that were kind of mysterious in Game of Thrones are kind of been answered.
Yeah, and so it's
already.
That's thank you for that kind of crystallizes why I was feeling like it's an I don't want to say unfair, but it's an uneducated
comparison.
We can say that it's rushed. I think I mean, I think you can still debate that, but that you could say, okay, yeah, it feels like it's rushed. But I wouldn't say that it's doing what Lost did, where it's kind of not meeting the expectations that it set, and it's also not subverting the expectations. It's kind of just
right. But it's like there was so many things in Lost that I think the reason why I was like kind of I was disappointed with the final season of Lost.
You can.
I think the reason why is because like the things that I was interested in, like I think the Dharma Initiative was something that I was more interested in. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That like, but they never really talk about it.
Right.
And I'm like, that was more interesting to me. I'm like, I want to know why this like organization existed. Like where were what was its genesis instead of like the weird spiritual crap that they had for the final season. So I'm like, okay. So if they had another season, maybe they would have been able to do that or go into that, or maybe they wouldn't have bothered. Like Damon Lindelof or whatever. Fucking, he's like, I want to make it, abstract and not so you're not sure what the fuck is exactly going on.
What the only so to go back to Game of Thrones and wrap up here, what I kind of wish I went back onto the internet and onto social media again this week for the first time in almost 3 weeks.
And you found a lot of cranky babies that were mad about last week's episode.
I did find that.
Signing petitions to have them redo the season.
Well, you know what? I made a decision that I was going to focus my attentions on Instagram more than on Twitter, so I didn't see that as much, but I did hear about it. And the point I'm trying to make, I wish I kind of had just taken one more week off, maybe another couple weeks off, because I would.
There's never not going to be bad news on the internet, Chris.
No, but I would have just liked to have continued and watched tonight's episode, and
at least if it's like media based, it's like like I'm cranky about a show is a lot better than I'm cranky about like what 4 states just did right now, or maybe it's 5 now or 8. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. No,
fuck off, all you states.
Yeah, no, what? Yeah, I didn't want to get into.
You know
that
what I'm
part.
talking about?
Yes.
No, I'm just saying, audience and you.
Yeah.
Fuck off, states.
I just want to end it right, but I still was trying to finish my point. But you know what?
Yes, please do.
Fuck. I would like to have just gone into tonight's episode and just watched it, and not had any of the background noise competing for attention in my head. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of forget that the world exists whenever I do watch it, whether it's tonight or next.
I mean, you could come back here if you want. We're having a couple of folks over if you want to watch with us.
I think I might stay up. Have they said how long it's going to be? Is this like?
It's probably going to be longer than an hour, but I don't know how much longer. Yeah. I mean, we could go on to HBO right now and look how long it's slated for.
Oh boy, me on the internet, people are just dying to hear me tap away at some.
Please.
You can find the show notes for
that you're typing up right now
at clarkwoods.com/hot/236.
In a row?
In a row. That's next week.
Oh. I'm 237?
If you are 237, or if you have anything to say about anything we've had to say, you can email us. The address is hot@clarkwoods.com.
Correct.
And you should leave us a review or a rating or both on your iTunes or wherever you get your
Apple Podcasts.
Oh, that's right, Apple Podcast. Go back in time and leave it on iTunes, and then we'll be even better because the reviews will be from the past, and that'll be the other timeline, right? What did the ancient one say? Is it dark timeline or some?